Hi everyone and welcome to Fun with Code. So, 19 hours ago I've received a comment from Testing Toy. So he asked how to read Excel CSV file to send bulk email with sender name, subject, HTML body with attachment using Python. So in this video I'll show you how to do that. So without any further delay, let's have fun with code. So you need to take care of few things before you start programming. First, you need all your attachments, Python file and CSV or Excel file in one folder. So make sure you have all those files in one folder and then you can start programming. So the first task for us is to read data from the CSV file. So here is the CSV file I have in this format. The first row is the receiver's mail ID and then subject, and then if you have any attachments just give the file path here, and then you have your HTML body here, and make sure this is a CSV file. So you need a module called Pandas to read these files. So go ahead and install the module by using pip install Pandas, and then let's import Pandas as pd, and then let's say dat equal to pd dot read csv. So now here we are going to pass the location of the csv file. So I have named it as user data, so let's say user data dot csv. Now let's print the that let's say now let's print the data and see how what is the format of the data. So I have two rows and four columns. So the first row is mail id, and then we have some other columns, but we can't see them because it is too congested for the text. So now the next task for us is to read individual rows as separate data. So if we want mail id, we only want mail id. So what we can do is we can just say data dot get. So now here we can just give the specific column heading, let's say mail id, and make sure this matches the heading. If it doesn't match, you can't get the output. Now if you run the program, you'll only get mail id, and if we want to access only one mail id at a time, you can just give it an index of 0 because it is a list. And now if you run the program, you'll only get the first mail id. Now this is what we want, but we want this to happen in a loop so that every mail id is sent the mail. Now let's create a for loop here. For I in data dot get, we want to get mail id. First thing, we want to get may you send receiver's email id, sender's mail id, and attachments if any, and then HTML body. So let's get them. Before doing that, create a variable m outside the for loop which is equal to 0. Now to send mail, we need to import few modules. So these are the modules which we need. So import them, and then now we are going to create a variable called port 587, and then the server, we are going to say, actually this should be smtp.gmail.com, and then we are going to say sender underscore sender's email, and then just pass in the email from which you and then just pass the email from which you want to send messages. Now let's say receivers underscore. Now receiver's email is going to be I, because we have stored the data in the CSV file, and we can access the data from the CSV file, so we don't need to type the receiver's email manually. Instead, the for loop does it for us. So every time the loop repeats, receiver's email will change to the next email. For example, this is the first receiver's ID to which I want to send message, and then after after the completion of one loop, the receiver's email ID will change to the next one. So this is how the for loop works. And then you have to create a variable called password. Now, if you are using if you enable two-step verification, here you need to pass app specific password. I've already covered this part in this video, so I'd suggest you to go and check that video and then watch this video. So here you need to pass in the app specific password. Now let's create another variable called message. So we are going to get the message from the CSV file. So let's say data.get. We are going to get the subject. Make sure you use the same heading, otherwise it won't work. So we want to get the subject, and after getting the data, so if you just say data.get subject, you'll get this whole row. Which if you just say data.get subject, you'll get this whole row. That is not what we want. We only want the first one. So let's say m. For the first time we are repeating a loop, we want the sub first the first row, and then we'll, we want the next row. So that's why we have created a variable outside the for loop which is equal to 0, and then we want to get the attachment. So let's say data dot get, we want to get the value in the attachment column. So just say attachment, and then even here we'll say m, and after this we'll say html, because we also want to get the html. Data dot get html, and pass the index and just say m there. Now after this we are going to say m plus equal to 1. So this will So this will change the value of m to +1, which means if you have the value, so for the first time the loop is repeating, the value of m will be 0, the second time it will be 1, and then the third time it will be 2. So we don't have any problem, so that we don't have any problem getting the information from the CSV file. Now let's create the code for sending the mail. Now let's create a variable called msg, which is equal to mime multipart, and then just say alternative, and then msg, in fact let's just say from equal to send us email, and then to will be equal to receiver's email, and then we are going to say file name is equal to attachment. Now we also need to say msg subject equal to multipart test. Now let's come to the HTML part. HTML, we are going to create a variable called part equal to HTML comma HTML, and then we are going to say msg dot attach, and then we are going to say msg dot attach part. Actually here we have to say main text. Now let's come to attachment. Now let's say with open file name as rb, file name, we are going to read the file and we are going to open that file as attachment, and then let's say part equal to, and then part equal to mime base, we are going to say application comma octet stream, and then we are going to say part dot set payload attachment dot read. Now let's say encoders dot encode base 60 encode underscore base 64, we are going to pass part. Now instead of multi-part test here, you can pass whatever subject you want. Now let's say part dot add header, we are going to say content disposition, and then attachment file name equal to file name. So file name equal to file name, and after that let's just say message dot attach part. So we are done with the attachment part. Now we are left with sending the mail. Now let's create a variable called context equal to ssl dot create default context, Now we are going to say with smtplib dot smtp underscore ssl, we are going to say smtp dot gmail.com, and then we are going to say 465, which will be the port number, and then context equal to context, we are going to say as ser, and then we are going to say ser dot login. No, we are going to pass sender's email and then password. Then we are going to say ser dot send mail, sender's email, and then receiver's email. We are going to say message dot as string, and that's it. After this we are going to say print email, and after this we are going to say print email sent. Now let's try running the program. Yes, the email has been sent. Now you can check your Gmail account if the email is received or not. Yes, I have received the email, and you can even see the time, which is 2:15 p.m. and you can even see the attachment is also attached with the HTML body. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel.